Another video for you guys, showing you guys about the VTEC solenoid. I had a code 2647 on another customer's car. Basically, I'm gonna tell you the steps that I went through in order to replace it. As you guys know, I do have a junk TL here, which it is a junk TL, so the engine blew. So the trainee's good, so I'm in the process of taking everything out. Which I already did. Take out the knuckles. I took off the knuckles and everything. The radiator's out. Everything is out. Gonna be pulling the catalytic converter, the engine mounts. I'm gonna be dropping the engine and the transmission on the subframe and lowering it down in order to be able to take everything out. The covers are removed. As you guys remember, I just made a video showing how to remove the crank pulley bolt. This is the water pump here, right here. If you guys have never seen it, this is a water pump, and the timing belt's already off. Okay, and the valve covers, I'll be taking these off, and I'll be getting those redone, refinished in like a carbon fiber or something like that for my car. But all right, so back to the video. Basically, the code was a 2467. Basically, what it was this. This is the oil filter housing also. So basically, before you do this job, I would advise you to change the oil also. So that means draining the oil from the oil pan here. If you guys have never changed oil before, you guys can look up online. There's plenty of videos showing how to change your oil on your car. If you want a video, just let me know. I'll make a video for you guys. Basically, just change your oil. You pull this filter out like so. You just unscrew it as you drain out your oil. Then there's gonna be there's gonna be two sensors here. There's gonna be one here, okay, that you just unplug the connector. You press on the tab like so to release the connector, and then there's the solenoid up here, which is going to be another connector, and you can reach up and grab the connector, which is like so, and then just unclick the tab, click the tab and slide this down. Okay, and then removing this, the housing itself, you remove these 3 10s, 1, 2, 3. This is one here. Then you remove this one, which is another 10. Then you have another 10 here. Okay, the housing will give you a little trouble to be removed, so you gotta like tap it, kind of like pull on it a little and tap it, and it'll come out like so. So once this comes out, it'll have this gasket in it. Like so. Now sometimes the issues and problems that a lot of people have is when this gasket right here usually gets clogged with contaminants and stuff like that. So they would say replace it, just get a new one. They're cheap online. I'll put a link down in the video, in the bottom of the video description, showing how to replace it. 9 times out of 10, this usually fixes the problem. But the problem that the customer had was where when the car would get to like 2400 RPMs, the car would sputter. It would go boop, 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 boop. Like it would cut out, like the VTEC wasn't working at all. And this was definitely the culprit, okay? It wasn't the gasket here that was the culprit, not the filter here. It wasn't this sensor, the pressure sensor. It was the solenoid. The solenoid went bad, so his wasn't working anymore. So the VTEC wasn't kicking in, so the car was sputtering, and I test drove it, and it was crazy. So after replacing that, which I thought it was the sensor first, it wasn't the sensor. It turned out to be the solenoid. 9 times out of 10, like I said before, it's usually the filter here. I'm gonna put a link down, like I said in the video. These you can pick up from like a junkyard or something like that, from another TL, or find somebody that's part not a TL if you have that code. My advice would be, if you want to just replace the solenoid itself, you could just remove these 2 10s, 1, 2, and just get another one and just bolt the new one on. Yeah, and just bolt the new one on with two bolts, and that's it. Call it a day. And then just put this the housing back on, and make sure when you take this off, make sure you change your oil, because you need to change your oil when messing with this. So when you change that, change your oil, put a new oil filter on, bolt this back to the housing like so, put the 3 bolts back in, put the connectors back in, and you're good to go. This is what I did on the customer's car, and the car is working perfectly fine. He has no issues and problems anymore, and the car is running smoother than ever. Smooth. So 9 times out of 10, like I said, get that code, VTEC Solenoid. This is the solenoid here if you want to buy it separately. I'll try to find it online for you guys to see if you guys can purchase it, or you guys can go to the dealer and ask them for the VTEC Solenoid. It wasn't the sensor itself, it was definitely the solenoid. So I was glad to have fixed that problem for him, because he said that was the issue that he had for the longest. But if you're going to change that, you might as well just, if you're going to take this out, might as well just replace this filter, because the gasket gets like really thin and it'll cause oil to leak. Now, the customer's car that I worked on, somebody put the silicone gasket around the actual gasket itself, which was a no-no. You don't do that. Don't put no gasket sealer on it. It doesn't need it. This is a gasket. It's going to squish, and once it squishes, it'll stop any oil from coming out or anything like that from coming out of the housing on the sides and stuff like that. So if you do have a housing on the side and you see oil on the side like so, it's because the gasket here has wore out, and just replace the gasket, and it should fix your leaking oil problem that you have here on the side. Okay. I just wanted to make this quick video for you guys, telling you guys how to solve the 2647 code. I'll put a link down in the video description. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Peace.